The Out of Bounds Show podcast is powered by the DeWalt tools at Ace Bolt and Screw. Visit acebolt.net for a location near you.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio.
This is Al Warning.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Paul Bounds. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
All set? Let's go.
The Zone.
Wow. Good morning, good morning. Welcome in. We are the Out of Bounds Show. 105.9 The Zone, WRKS, ESPN. Brought to you by Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. Hit it up, dancingrabbitgolf.com. And powered by the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook, where you can bet on college baseball. Your Hail State Bulldogs, Ole Miss Rebels, LSU Tigers, Tennessee Vols, Vandy, Arkansas. Goodness gracious. One team after another in the Super Regionals, among others, that you can bet on at the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook. Welcome in, live in the Bank Plus studio. Here we are as we march in to Super Regional Weekend. Should be exciting. I'm fired up. You're fired up. Let's roll. Blake Mania's fired up. God, who knows what he'll be like heckling umpires this weekend. Oh, gosh. Kendall, just do something with him. Something. Anything. Our guest will join us on the Modelo guest line. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app and the zone1059.com. You can hit us up on the Farm Bureau Insurance call-in line, 601-707-3750, and Twitter handle at Bo Bounds, and then your text line, 601-885-3776, brought to you by Mississippi Ag for your next John Deere tractor to manage your land. John Deere, America's Tractor, agup.com for any of the 16 locations that you need to find near you. How about that, near you? Canton and Pearl in the metro area. So we'll have Steve Palazzolo on NFL QBs. Dak Prescott signs with the Jordan brand, the only NFL quarterback to sign with the Jordan brand. And that's a lucrative deal for Mr. Dak Prescott, who has made I think he's getting well over $250 million, if not $300 million at this point. But the deals continue to roll in for Dak Prescott, who is with the Jordan brand. You know, there's only a handful of college schools that are with the Jordan brand: Florida, Michigan, North Carolina, I think a few others. And, of course, that makes Nike an enormous amount of money. And Jordan's got that firepower, and Dak will be the only quarterback part of the Jordan brand. It says he will be the only Jordan brand quarterback, the only Cowboys player, and the highest paid NFL player on the signature lines roster of Jordan brand, Dak Prescott. Let me reel off some other things that he's doing. He's got a mega beer deal. He's got Pepsi, Sleep Number, Dan & Yogurt, Campbell's Soup, 7-Eleven, AT&T, Beats by Dre, and others since becoming the Cowboys star quarterback. So, Dak Prescott, cha-ching.
You walked out on that field and it was like football Jesus had hit.
Well, that too. I'm looking at a picture where he's up in the air. He is off the ground throwing the football yesterday. So he seems to be moving really, really well. And as he told reporters yesterday, and I'm sure some of you saw it, his quote was, "I have buried the injury." And if anybody can do it with his mental fortitude, it's that dude. So he's got a one-track mind, and that's winning and accomplishing things and turning the page and, next mountain type stuff. So Dak is, I still love my Adidas, but I'm happy for him that he's going to the Jordan brand, and that is cool. It'll be interesting to see what they roll out Blake Mania?
Yeah, the first line of gear.
Yeah.
And it's right
I may
in
buy
time.
you something as an early Christmas present,
That's
Sweet Cheeks.
Very kind. Christmas in July. That's what they
Christmas
like to say.
in July
Yeah,
or June.
And I think they'll come
Well,
out.
I guess it'll be a few weeks, right?
I assume they signed him already with some things in the works because that's
a good point.
Big businesses.
Because when they pitched he and this sports marketing agent that he has to have, they showed him all these cool virtuals
yeah.
of what they're going to roll
If not even
out.
some product.
Well, that's right.
I mean, it's
Just
it's
gave him
Jordan
gear.
brand. They can do that.
Yeah.
They can make the prototypes.
Fair enough.
So,
And
so,
I
yeah.
didn't even notice over the weekend.
He's wearing the black Jordans all weekend.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay. I never even put that. And I
Premonition.
guess I should have put together that he wasn't wearing any Adidas stuff.
Exactly. Not
Okay.
anything. And he's been normally in like a
So
sweatshirt.
he's decked
or
out in
a
Adidas.
hat or,
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was interesting. I didn't, I've seen some pictures, but I had, again, like you, I wasn't tuned into that. So
Gear is so cool today. You don't remember this, but when I was growing up as a kid in the 80s and then a high schooler and college student in the 90s, athletic gear was dog poo-poo.
well, you got to rain on Russell Brand like that.
Okay? It was heavy. It was crappy. And, once your mom washed it, the colors bled. So, it was all just
That's
nonsense.
funny.
And now today with the, the performance, all that kind of stuff, it's just, it's light, it's cool, it's fun, it's stylish.
Yeah.
It's got a fashion component to it. What Adidas and Nike and there's
Which-
several others.
yeah, never
Puma's
used to.
coming back and all that stuff. I mean, Puma was a piece of the puzzle when I was like 7, and then it went away for 30 years, and now it's back.
Would you put the fashion point on the kind of evolution of how the Jordan shoe brand? I mean, I think that's
No
what
question.
brought fashion into sportswear.
No
right?
question. No doubt. And then Adidas came in about 8 or 9 years ago and made Nike take their game up again
For
because
sure.
Adidas rolled out some amazing shoes. And so they're going back. Under Armour tried to swim in the game for a little while. They've kind of gone another direction. But there's some other like boutique brands like Puma and others that are out there that you can tell influencers are gravitating to, which then in turn makes people on the street go to either stores or Amazon and buy other things.
Like when New Balance signed Kawhi Leonard in the NBA, which was like one of the wildest things. I mean, New Balance.
That's
crazy.
I haven't had any New Balance since like
But you're like their
90?
peak customer.
I don't
you're
think
a dad.
I-
You're
yeah.
a suburban dad. That's like their peak go-to guy.
I haven't had any New Balance.
I had some when I was in like 4th grade, I think. Like that's about it.
Good gravy. But hey, maybe Kawhi, first of all, Kawhi doesn't move the needle, but that's a whole nother,
Yeah. But it is interesting, the style aspect of the sports. And so that's when you see Jordan Brand sign their first QB, and it's the Cowboys QB. I mean, we've said this 1,000 times, but is there any way to even quantify what it means to be drafted by the Cowboys compared to anywhere else?
No.
I mean, even Eli was the number 1 overall pick, ended up going to New York, but New York is a massive brand, and even Eli didn't have like the brand value with New York that the Cowboys bring to the table, it just is truly remarkable what Jerry Jones has built there.
It is. It is. Also different time, believe it or not.
Well,
I know it
that's true.
doesn't seem like it, but Eli was drafted in 2004 and Dak was drafted in 2016.
Yeah.
It's just light years of what happened. And Dak's just got that marketing piece to him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's just he's a dude that most everybody, they may hate the Cowboys, but they like Dak, right? They may root against the Cowboys on Sunday, but they like Dak. And he's just got he's got a cool factor, swagger, and all that stuff. So it's a great story. I think hey, I told you, he's at 300 million. He may be at 500 million before we know it. And he's not even 30 years old. By the time he's 40, he could be a billionaire. That's pretty good. The Out of Bounds Show is powered by Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center. For any orthopedic hiccup, MississippiSportsMedicine.com. They just built a state-of-the-art, patient-friendly Surgery Center and Clinic, Lakeland Drive, Flowwood. That's MississippiSportsMedicine.com. Welcome in. Good morning. Big Board. Coming up next. This is the Out of Bounds Show. The Out of Bounds Show podcast is brought to you by Boar's Head. Premium meats, cheeses, and hummus. Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.
What's on the big board?
All right. Dak Prescott signs with the Jordan brand. The only NFL QB to sign with the Jordan brand. And then he will be the highest paid NFL player as part of the Jordan brand line. So he's one of the world's highest paid athletes, according to Forbes, which I think you already knew that.
Did Dan Mullen set this up?
Yes. Yes.
Little Jordan brand relationship
Oh,
there.
man.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. So he goes from Adidas since like 2011 or 12, all during his college career, which was 5 years, and then in Dallas, and then he flips it and he goes with the Jordan brand, which means he'll probably get to hang out with, or already has, with Michael Jordan, MJ, because that's what happens. It's a very selective kind of elite group that gets to do this thing. How about that?
All right.
What?
That's a hard.
What?
It's a hard.
You trying to
pass.
bother me again?
I know we're an Adidas show, and I love Adidas gear. I wear it all the time.
Yeah,
but
Mississippi State people are going to be a little torn because, man, you know, they pumped a ton of money into Adidas, and like I said, Adidas has some great looking stuff.
Yeah,
Blake. But I think you'll see both now.
Yes,
100%.
you
will see MSU people wear their Hail State Adidas stuff
and their Cowboys Jordan brand Dak stuff
and their Cowboys Jordan brand Dak stuff. Why not?
And that was my question.
I'm wearing Jonesy Q this morning.
I'm proud of you.
This
Did you
shirt.
sprinkle some seasoning on? Oh, you mean a shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you just sprinkled some seasoning
the
on.
shirt. Knucklehead.
Gotcha. Okay, hey, ecstasy is a little like exfoliant, maybe. It would be hard to pass up Jordan brand as an athlete, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I know that Adidas can offer tons, and so can a lot of these other companies, but the Jordan allure, like there's no other. It's like the ace in the hole, right?
Yeah.
No other company can bring you that. Like
Man.
Jordan brand can bring you that.
And it separates you from the Nike line.
That's what I'm saying.
You're in the Jordan brand.
It's unique.
Right.
It's not just Nike. There's
Right.
plenty of Nike athletes.
Right.
You're a Jordan athlete, and they signify that. It's like a whole other subsect.
Pretty cool.
That's a, and they're gonna come out with some, like you said, we're gonna have to see. They're gonna come out with some cool gear for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Dak Prescott is full go in practice.
Yes.
Now, he's not getting hit, but neither is anybody else. But, I mean, he is running around, jumping around. And I think, what is he, about 7 months removed from surgery?
October was when the injury happened.
So, good for him, man.
You know who else they said was jumping around and looking good at practice?
Who?
Oh, Jordan Love.
Oh, really?
No need for Aaron Rodgers, baby. You stay out of camp.
That's nonsense. You know that, and I know that. That's that's nonsense.
They're in trouble, man. Aaron Rodgers. That's the biggest storyline of the season. I mean, the Julio trade is nice. The Dak signing is awesome. But the Aaron Rodgers' future, man. We've never seen an NFL QB of his caliber move at this level of his career.
No.
I mean, he's coming off an MVP season.
Peyton Manning doesn't count because he was coming off 4 neck surgeries.
Yeah. Tom Brady was walking out of a 18-year career. It's not the same.
I mean, Aaron has every bit of 3 years, if not more.
As a top 4
and that is an absolute eternity in the NFL.
Yeah.
I think I was going back and forth with NFL Chuck last night. I think Aaron may be the most talented QB I've ever watched play, and that includes from Montana through Brady and everybody in Elway. That includes everybody in between. I think he's the most talented as far as everything that he does. Now, he'll probably only go to the house with 1 Super Bowl, but Dan Marino went to the house with 0 Super Bowls.
Goose egg.
And look, Dan Fouts was a great NFL QB, and he went to the house, and he's much better than many QBs that have won it. And he went to the house with no Super Bowl. So that has nothing, that's not the link necessarily, but
takes 21 other guys, right? That's what they say.
Yeah, and a Hall of Fame coach and a phenomenal GM and lots of other cool, fun stuff, no doubt, right?
Millennium Falcon
we see that down the road with the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah,
it took three, among others, but it took Mickey Loomis, who's really good at what he does as GM, Sean Payton, who's going to the Hall of Fame, and Drew Brees, who's going to the Hall of Fame.
And even that only got you one trip to the Super Bowl.
Right.
It's just that difficult. Millennium Falcon says Drew Brees is the most talented quarterback. Drew is really good, but not quite the most talented.
Yeah, Drew is crazy, and I have even more of an appreciation for Drew after reading this book by Jeff Duncan on Peyton and Brees, because I just didn't understand It's like getting a PhD in physics from Harvard.
What he did on the field was only the tiny tip of the iceberg you saw above the water.
Yep.
It was all that giant mass under the water that he did behind the scenes that made him what he was.
I mean, he and Sean being in there at 5 a.m. in the morning, and then they're known to stay at the facility till 1:30 in the morning. They are just absolute grinders.
Drew Brees made
I know
up.
we talk about that all the time, but
it's real.
It's not. That's not awesome. That's not an awesome schedule.
No.
To go that early and that late and do it over and over and over again.
Yep.
It's just
and he's got young kids, so he missed a lot of his young
no question.
Yeah,
I mean, you've seen the video of him leaving in the morning when it's dark.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of that. We don't really want to think about for us as fans, and I'm a fan and you are too, we only now that I've been to like 20 Saints games in the last few years, it's all about the fireworks and the electricity and the cold beer and the nachos and the super cool uniforms that they run out. They're all jumping around, and you're just ready to play ball.
Yep.
We really don't want to focus on what goes on from Sunday night to Sunday morning.
No.
Now, ESPN did one of the best articles I've ever read. One of the best sports articles I have ever read in my life. ESPN, the magazine, did they shadowed John Harbaugh with the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
It was gross. The schedule,
I
have never, ever seen any. I've never, I guess, read, kind of witnessed through the piece.
The true minute by minute.
Anything like that. Yeah. His schedule is literally, it's 15 minutes. So he gave himself, if you notice, at lunch and dinner, was 15 minutes.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Because just like Saban eats the same thing every day because he can't be bothered to order.
Yeah.
It's just a process that you have to do to get to the next process.
Exactly.
It's not a meal. It's just something you have to do to get to the next step.
All right, and let me tell you, how I talked about this years ago. If you're a COO, manager, business owner, you should walk your company to manage, okay? Like our president who just retired didn't just sit in his office.
Gotcha.
He walked through the building on a daily basis. You need to go out and visit with your people. And so the one thing about that, in the piece, John Harbaugh, the head football coach for the Baltimore Ravens, you would not believe how many people he met with on a weekly basis. Players. He was always taking advantage of meeting with personnel people and players and putting different players together. You'd have like, who was their statue quarterback for years?
Flacco.
Yeah. You'd have Flacco with like two defensive players.
Yeah.
They'd eat for 15 minutes and boom, moving on. But he would eat with Ozzie Newsome. Then when he would eat with the player personnel guy under Ozzie, then he would eat with da-da-da-da-da.
That's funny.
And he slept at the facility, I think, the first 4 nights of the week.
We all want to be...
He didn't go home until Thursday.
That's wild. See, we all want to be the guy and the coach and make those decisions, and we all feel like that, and we all want to get that paycheck, but none of us want to put in 22-hour days to get to Sunday to make those calls.
Now, the one thing that John Harbaugh does in this article, walking you through his schedule of 100 hours a week or whatever it is, he works out every day. He does. He's either doing cardio or lifting weights 30 minutes to an hour a day, which is pretty damn impressive, right? Hey, the show is brought to you by RPT and Rick's Pro Truck. Visit ricksprotruck.com. New retail location, Gluckstadt, Madison County. Spray and bed liners, lift kits, SEC Insider hit next.
The Out of Bounds Show podcast is powered by Breezy Oaks Ranch. For Mississippi-raised premium Wagyu beef and heritage pork shipped straight to your door, visit breezyoaksranch.com.
Come on.
Everyone ready?
This is the SEC Insider Hit. Presented by your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Go local. Go with a home team.
Some movement on the LSU job, maybe? Huh. That would be the LSU baseball job, not the football job yet. That's happening sooner than later, but that's not what I'm referencing. And the basketball, for that matter. I mean, the American gangster, Will Wade, who, is still getting that check every month until the NCAA finishes up their investigation. He's got to laugh when he looks at his phone and sees that direct deposit of $200-something thousand a month. Man, oh man. You know that song by Guns N' Roses? They can't catch me. They're out to get me. I'm blanking innocent. That's what Will Wade puts in his SUV every morning when he's going to the LSU campus. The American gangster. Unbelievable. Anyway, so that we could have like some LSU could go, Blake, they could be replacing all three of their major head coaches over the course of about 18 months or so, 24 months.
Seriously.
So Mainieri's retiring, but they're still playing. They're playing this weekend in Knoxville, Tennessee.
It's going to be ferocious.
Yeah.
That's going to be nasty.
That'll be an absolute battle. And Will Wade, their basketball coach, who is the American gangster on this show, has been under all kinds of scrutiny, NCAA investigation. I guess it's just a matter of time. Of course, he's still signing like great classes. So that's college hoops for you. And then you would think, Eddie O has 2 more seasons, max?
Yeah, I guess it depends on
21
how bad.
and 22.
I don't think he could get fired after this. It would have to be catastrophic failure.
Yeah, because they owe him like $900 million, and I'm being, but it's like $30 million or something crazy.
Yeah, well, they paid for that title, baby, one way or the other.
No question.
Ain't no lie about that.
No, yeah. So, they got the lockdown going on down there.
But they also had to hire a women's basketball coach, and they had their longtime Hall of Fame gymnastics coach retire. They had to so Scott Woodward's been hiring half his athletic staff basically over the last 20 months.
That's true.
I mean that's a lot.
What's his name?
Turnover.
Scott Woodward.
Woodward out of Texas. It came from Texas A&M. Remember?
Okay, yeah. He was chief of staff at LSU.
Yep.
And connected politically.
He was a what do you call it? A lobbyist.
I don't know about that. He may have been.
He did
and
some of
then
that,
he was under the president as chief of staff, and maybe he was the lobbyist too for LSU. And then, of course, I would think they just kind of walk down the Capitol and say, "This is what we want." But then
somebody's got to get paid to say it, right?
Right. Then he goes to Washington, I think, is their AD. Then A&M is their AD, and then LSU is their AD.
Bjork replaced him at A&M.
Oh,
that's how Bjork got the job.
That's right. Right, yeah.
Because LSU and Oliva and everything, it was all the turmoil and
Oliva.
all the Les Miles drama and everything. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of
that's awesome.
There's been a lot of smoke on the Bayou over the last 3 to 4 years.
Because they don't answer to anybody. I mean,
the Wild West eventually burns itself down.
There's no checks and balances.
Yeah.
So they don't answer to anybody. So they do the rules don't. There is this whole the rules don't apply to us mentality, or we make up the rules as if the rules are here and we decide to at lunch today to throw in an addendum or just delete and rewrite. That's what we do.
Like playing your older brother in any game when you're growing up. Like the rule, you're winning and all of a sudden you're not. The rules just change on you. That's what LSU does, right?
Yes.
It's a whole nother country down there. 100%.
It is a whole nother deal down there. So LSU, Pat Casey won 3 titles
Correct.
at Oregon State.
Correct. Played.
And he could be in play for LSU.
Yeah, I think he was in 6 World Series over like a 10-year span, but he didn't go to one. The craziest part of Pat Casey's tenure is that for the first 11 years he was at Oregon State as head coach, they didn't even qualify for a regional.
Oh,
They
I
did
heard
not.
that.
They did not even make it into the postseason for 11.
Can you imagine that?
What would happen in Starkville or Oxford if you didn't make it into the postseason for 4 years?
New coach,
Right?
fired, new hire.
No chance you make it a full class.
No. You
Without making
can't
the
really
postseason.
go more than 2. And something's got to be.
You gotta have like 3 kids get injured.
If you go 2 years in a row without getting into the regional, you either don't make it or you have one more year to really go big.
right?
That's what it is now in Starkville and Oxford.
Again, that's what's crazy is it's not that he like made it as a 3 seed and never got out of a region. He didn't even make a regional as a 3 seed or a 4 seed. Could not make a regional at all for 11 seasons. And they stick with him. And then in season 12, goes to Omaha, and in seasons 13 and 14, he wins national titles back to back.
Yeah.
And since that 2000,
So Pat Casey was at Oregon State until 2018, and then he retired,
Yep.
and now he could be in the mix at LSU.
Yeah.
So we'll see what shakes out there. Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app. The SEC Insider Hit this morning is brought to you by XL Water and Coffee. How does water delivered to your door sound? Sounds pretty awesome. You can go to wateratmydoor.com, wateratmydoor.com, and then discount code BOUNDS for 50% off your initial order. That's XL Water and Coffee, wateratmydoor.com, or you can get the unit that we have,
yeah,
the cooler. The water cooler.
Pretty cool. It's got the big barrel. Yeah.
So they can bring bottled water. They can deliver bottled water to your door, or you can have the water cooler, which we have up here. And that's wateratmydoor.com. And 50% off the initial order with discount code BOUNDS. The show is presented by XL Water and Coffee. That's XL Water and Coffee. And we're live in the Bank Plus studio. I want to thank you again for going to our podcast. Apple Podcast. Search the Out of Bounds Show. Go back and listen to segments and interviews and all kinds of nonsense. Speaking of nonsense, before I segue into another sports topic, and we'll see what LSU does with their baseball coach. It's kind of weird. Scott Woodward is hunting a coach, but they're also playing this weekend, which Mainieri's fine with because
he retired.
A little bit different deal when you fire some dude. It's National Egg Roll Day. If you listen to this show, you know that egg rolls are one of my weaknesses, and I absolutely love them when done well. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Dak Prescott,
And
egg rolls, and awesome sports. So, egg rolls. Blake Ding-Hao.
Oh, Ding-Hao. Quite possibly the best Chinese food in the state.
It is some of the best, without a doubt.
Yeah. Those egg rolls. I remember when we went there, you didn't trust me that Ding-Hao's going to be good. We go.
I did not trust you.
No, it's fine.
I still don't trust you.
It's
You're
fine.
kind of like Will Wade.
But here's the thing, though. You should trust Will Wade to make
American Gangster Jr.
You should. I appreciate it. That's actually a compliment. You should trust Will Wade to make strong-ass offers, and you should trust me to know where good food is. If nothing else,
That's
right?
true.
Right?
That's a
if
good
there's
point.
nothing else,
That's a good point.
That's one of the few areas that you should trust me in.
Yeah, you've got a little appetite on you.
I've taken you to some good restaurants.
Where's the place that Kendall took us in
It is
at the reservoir?
The sushi place it's by where the old Havana was.
Yeah.
In that strip right in front of the bowling alley.
They have good egg rolls.
What was the name of that place? Asahi?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So I dive in there every now and then for
Yep.
lunch. You can eat at the bar, and it takes just a few minutes.
Yeah.
And I'll get some miso soup and then the egg rolls. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. But when you ate those Ding-Hao egg rolls, you actually looked
No,
at me and
they
you were
were
like,
incredible.
You were like, okay, wait a second. Time out.
No, they're great.
Yeah.
And Jeff Jones,
Electric.
my man, JonesEQ.com, has never been to Ding-Hao. And when he told me that the other day, I said,
We'll
as
have to-
much as you
yeah.
love food,
Yeah.
you've got to go.
What a mistake.
I know. What's the lady's name?
Yan.
Yeah, she loves us.
She's the greatest woman I've ever met in restaurants. She's hilarious.
Golly.
She asked me to buy her house. Did I tell you that story?
She asked you to buy her house.
She told me she was selling her house. She was like, "You want to buy it? You know
this
anybody
is
that
when
wants to
you
buy
were
it?"
doing real estate and
No,
flipping
this
homes.
was like 2 months ago.
Oh, okay.
No, she doesn't know anything.
How
about,
random is that?
She doesn't know anything about me knowing real estate. She just knows me and my family by name. Although she probably knows half her customers by name, it seems like.
Right.
But she literally asked, she was like, "You want to buy a house?" I was like, "No, I do not want to buy your house."
I don't understand logic behind that.
She asked my brother if she could cater his wedding, which I thought was tremendous entrepreneurship.
That is fantastic.
She was like, "We can make egg rolls and
Big Ed
wontons."
should have said yes.
I said, "You're coming to my wedding."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Well, you know what I'll do? I didn't know that she did that.
She doesn't. She just offered.
Oh.
But she'll do it.
We'll get her to cater something with us.
She'll make us as many egg rolls and wontons
Or maybe,
as we want.
we've got a guys group club in our neighborhood, and speaking of, we'll do something this fall. I'll get her to do like a ton of egg rolls and what's that?
She would love it. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Did you order?
I ate the hot pepper chicken for my entree.
Yeah.
But
no,
there
it's
is a
this
good
other
shrimp.
place that has a. Where am I talking about? Shrimp dish. Oh, it's the Asian Market in Starkville.
Yes, that place is
yeah.
good.
Carrie Pennebaker and Jason Young put me on it.
Sneaky tasty.
It is
place.
phenomenal. Yes. All right, cool.
Do you dip your egg rolls in anything?
Yes.
Sweet and sour?
But I don't want anything on them. I have to control the sauce and the dipping.
You're that way about everything.
No doubt.
I don't know anything that when we go out, you get dressing on the side. You get everything
because
on the
they
side.
put too damn much on your food in the back.
Fair
and
enough.
I don't want that much.
Fair enough.
I don't want my food covered in it. I just need to get, a little bit.
Yes.
All right.
Everyone
it's just
should...
like comeback. If I can eat comeback with 900 different things, but I want it on the side so that I can dictate how much goes on my onion rings or whatever we're doing.
I love onion rings and comeback.
Yeah.
It might be one of my favorite things.
Southern staple.
I could eat it every day.
No, I'm going to Doe's tonight.
I'm going to Ding Hao tonight. I'm eating egg rolls. I'm going to be jealous. You can have your steak.
Okay.
You can get steak anywhere, baby. Egg rolls at Ding Hao.
Oh
Everyone come to Ding Hao today. Tell them Bo Bounds sent you.
All right, well, let's hear from our listeners. Mississippi Ag text line is 601-885-3776. 885-3776. I don't know many people that don't like egg rolls.
It's kind of I know it's not an American food, but it's un-American to not like egg rolls.
Exactly.
I feel
now,
very strongly
I'm going
about
to
that.
Doe's tonight. I do want to let our listeners know that we're doing a little different deal that we've done the last 6 years. We're going to the Steve Azar Delta Soul charity event in Greenville, Mississippi. And so tonight we'll go to Doe's, but that's maybe not the important piece of or maybe it is. But tomorrow morning we'll be out on the golf course. And Azar will be on, and then we'll have some other people on. Up there we've had Jim McMahon on and Marshall Henderson and Richard Burgee and all these different – there's actors and actresses and artists and Olympic champions and Sterling Sharp and Hall of Famers, and John Fox has been through, and Mark Schlereth and, all these other guys. And Steve and his wife Gwen do a great job, really celebrating the state of Mississippi and raising money for basically for schools in the Mississippi Delta that can't afford art programs and art teachers. So it's really pretty awesome. Of course,
awesome.
With the arts, music falls under the arts, so Steve is heavily involved in that. We'll broadcast at 10 a.m. It's what I call the fastest hour in radio because it is so funny. It's typical Delta, which I love, but nobody gets to the course until 10 a.m. And then it's rapid fire because they tee off at 11 a.m. So we really don't ever quite know who's coming on and how it's all going to line up, but it's a blast. But it's absolute pandemonium, not really scripted, but kind of scripted. And we've had so many wonderful interviews. That's where Jim McMahon told me no. I don't know if this surprises you. Jim McMahon, who won the Super Bowl with the Chicago Bears, who, by the way, played for who? Not Mike Ditka. He did, but Lavelle Edwards, the real legend at BYU. Jim McMahon, that's when we had him on. He'll play golf barefooted all weekend in Greenville at the Greenville Country Club.
If you're Jim
and I'm
McMahon,
not kidding.
You can.
If you're Jim McMahon, yeah. And he drinks Coors Light, which makes him even cooler because that's a great partner on our show. Where was I going with all that?
You were telling people that we're doing a show 10 to 12 tomorrow.
That's right.
So we'll have the show 7 to 10 set up for you guys, and then 10 to 12 will be
Cool.
live.
And I may jump on a little early. Blake and I are just kind of working through that, but it's awesome. It's all and what's great about this whole deal is they have a Bloody Mary and mimosa bar set up at the course tomorrow morning. And who's that guy that his son Corey Miller? Maybe he played at South Carolina, and his son was a starting linebacker the last couple of years at the University of Alabama for Saban. Great guy. Still looks like he can play and can hit the golf ball, 2 miles.
Country mile, baby.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And a couple of years ago, I got to eat dinner with Marshall Henderson. That was an experience.
Who's that?
He's wide open. And so tonight will be Doe's. Christian Miller at Bama. Yeah. Christian Miller was a phenomenal linebacker under Nick Saban, and he may have, and then came back. And ended up having a good career. His dad is a super guy. Have enjoyed hanging out with him. So tonight we'll throw down at Doe's. Tomorrow we'll be at the Greenville Country Club, and I need some Delta in my life. It's been too long, so I'm very excited about seeing our friends up in the beautiful Mississippi Delta.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. You'll have to make it 1 year, but we're still trying to figure out hiring more people, right? So
yes, we're in the process. We're
close.
Working forward.
We're close. If you have a son or daughter that's interested in a sports internship, possibly an assistant producer position to dip their toe in the world of
dip their toes.
Sports marketing, sports talk radio, and all the digital, the other stuff that we're doing.
Business.
Shoot us a text, 601-885-3776, or I'll give the email out for the first time this year, OOB@thezone1059.com.
Boom.
OOB. That stands for Out of Bounds. That's pretty simple. OOB@thezone1059.com. And I'll have to remember to check it, too. Live in the Bank Plus studio, Out of Bounds, ESPN 1059 The Zone, brought to you by our friends at Independent Roofing Systems, the #1 commercial roofing company in Mississippi. Independent Roofing Systems, locally owned and operated since 1980, and their work speaks for itself throughout the state of Mississippi. That's Independent Roofing Systems, roofing.ms. I've got Blake Mania with me. I'm your host, Bo Bounds. Thanks for listening to the Out of Bounds show, and we also appreciate you going to Apple Podcasts, searching the Out of Bounds show, and listening to the show. Would love for you to hit subscribe, too. It's National Iced Tea Day. Can I do anything with that?
You can drink it.
Okay.
Iced tea's got to be the most consumed beverage, right? In the South?
Well, it's up there.
I don't know what. I would think it's the most consumed non-alcoholic beverage for sure.
Maybe. When I did drink, so for years I drank unsweet tea.
That's what I drink.
And but I quit it like 5 years ago.
I love it. It's my
I was
go-to.
just drinking too much of it during the day.
I think I do that.
And it's just better with water. And I still like it, though. Most people listening love sweet tea, which is cool. What is the combo thing called? Is it an Arnold Palmer?
Arnold Palmer is tea and lemonade.
Tea and lemonade. And then a lot of people do tea, lemonade, and Tito's.
Which is fantastic.
And that's
or Four Roses. I've done that as well, which is a great one.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was never a lemonade drinker growing up. I've told you that, or Kool-Aid or any of that stuff. But something as of the last few years, as we partnered with Tito's, and when I always go to dinner with them, they've always got something new that they're doing. But I can tell you this, Tito's lemonade and water is a fantastic drink, especially as we go into summer.
Yeah, Tito's and lemonade is fantastic. I like the, what did they make us? The Lock City, Tito's lemonade and Lillet, right?
Yes, but it's Tito's grapefruit and Lillet. I still make that at the house.
Yeah, that's what they did at our first cornhole tournament. They did the Lock City.
Yes,
when Tito's
and
came.
then they did the blueberry.
That was so much fun. It was delicious.
It's what Jerry told me about a couple of years ago. We also had this at our Out of Bounds charity classic thing. Is simply, what's it called? Simply
Simply lemonade.
But it's blueberry.
Blueberry, exactly. They did the blueberry.
So you do that, and Tito's and water.
It was so good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know about that until they told
It's
me.
not something you think about off the top of your head, like blueberry lemonade.
Right.
Yeah.
I tried to find some at the Publix on 30A. I couldn't score
I was about
it
to say,
last
that
time
might
I
be
was there.
something that's
We'll have
not
to go through
yeah.
somewhere else. Yeah. Anyway.
Maybe more select drink.
But I figured it out.
Okay.
I found some other stuff. Did we talk any sports the
we
last
talked
16 minutes?
egg rolls.
Well, that's sports.
That's a
People
sport.
eat while they watch sports.
Would you compete if you had to eat one food item to compete in an all-you-can-eat contest? What would it be? Would it be egg rolls, or would you go something else? Like a food eating. You know how there's like wing contests and hot dog contests.
Oh, a food eating contest.
If you had to do a food, we did the donut contest in here one time. And
Are we doing that with
yes,
Joe Sherman?
Joe
again?
Sherman and Dunkin' Donuts. We're working on a date.
Okay.
He just opened he redid a grand opening in
I saw a picture. The
Pearl,
store
and
looks beautiful.
So he's a little busy right now. So we're working out a date.
Okay.
But
so what?
we put Jackson in a coma that day.
Oh my God!
It was hilarious.
We didn't quite do that.
It was great.
We made
radio.
him eat for like 10 minutes.
It was great.
Now
radio.
we're going to do 60 seconds.
It was fantastic
Yeah.
to watch them try to eat a dozen donuts.
Yeah. And what are we going to do? Somebody, whoever wins,
It's gonna be
gets like a $200 gift certificate.
Yeah,
to
we'll set them
somewhere?
up. We'll set them up.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do that. It's going to be like most donuts eaten in 60 seconds. But my question to you is, what would your food item be? If you had to do one food contest.
Like hammer food?
If you had to do one, like we said, like if you had 60 seconds, 90 seconds to eat as much of something
I would
as,
think
what would you
either
go with?
wings or drumsticks.
Okay. So you would go, see, I didn't know if maybe you'd go with your egg roll or with fries or something,
Yeah. I like all that.
Those are your usual,
that's my weakness.
your go-tos.
Fries
exactly.
are my weakness.
Exactly.
Damn it.
They're so good.
I know.
I love
They'll
fries.
probably
I'm
drop
going to
them on the table tonight at Doe's.
I'm going to Roosevelt's for lunch. Their fries
Oh, yeah.
are so good.
Let's talk about their menu real quick. Philly cheesesteak sandwich, wings, delicious cheeseburger, all at Roosevelt's at Live Oaks Golf Club. Now, let me go over what's going on. LSU is hunting a baseball coach, and Pat Casey may be in the mix. There's still O'Sully talk. That would be O'Sully Sullivan from Florida, the Gators, head coach. We'll see what else they try to do as far as replacing Paul Mainieri at LSU. Hey, we did get some feedback for Ole Miss fans on the park this weekend, the Arizona Wildcats Park, that seats 9,500 people in Tucson, Arizona, where Ole Miss will play. Ole Miss flew out yesterday. I'm sure y'all saw the pictures of the team waving on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and so on. So they were there, worked out, and then, of course, they'll work out today, and then they'll get after it tomorrow night. Is the first game at 8, Blake?
I thought it was 9, but it could be 8.
All
I'll
right.
have to look at it real quick.
And so we asked some questions of people in the business on this Arizona Wildcat Park, and this is what we were told. Their baseball facility on campus was inadequate and was not up to snuff when it comes to hosting regionals and super regionals. So they couldn't host super regionals and regionals. So Greg Byrne was the athletic director. And in 2012, they moved to this off-campus baseball park. It's not far from campus, like 2 miles. All right. And this baseball park had hosted minor league baseball teams like the Colorado Rockies. And who else did you tell me, Blake?
Just a bunch of affiliates for like 40, 50 years. Yeah.
So the Rockies had a minor league baseball team there and so on. And I think they were able to spruce it up a little bit. And then after that, Arizona, because of that facility, it allowed them to host regionals and super regionals once they moved to this facility in 2012.
Yeah. First game's 8 o'clock Friday on ESPNU.
Boom. So, little steak, little Modelo, and some college baseball. Did we miss a guest? We didn't, did we?
No.
Okay, good.
8:30 Steve Palazzolo.
8:30 Steve Palazzolo. 9:30 Kyle Peterson, National College Baseball Analyst with ESPN on the Rebs and the Dogs. Welcome in. Good morning. The show is presented by RPT and Rick's Pro Truck. Visit ricksprotruck.com. Back in a sec.